Meizu has been slinging flagship devices at the market for years now, but those have been having a hard time sticking around in meaningful quantities. This is specifically true as of late, as local rival Xiaomi has been showering itself in glory, overshadowing Meizu in the process. Now, with the MX4, Meizu is ready to try again. Plenty is on offer with this phone, including a large, 5.4-inch display, an octa-core processor, and a 21MP camera, all powered by a 3100 mAh battery. For this, you'll have to whip out $449, but don't expect to find it on the shelves of your local brick-and-mortar. That said, practice has shown that devices like this find their way to the States and elsewhere, and there's always Meizu's international online store, which offers free express shipping and covers any import taxes you might incur. So does the attractive price tag and the seemingly infallible specs make the MX4 a competitive device? Let's find out. On board, the Meizu MX4 is an excellent 21-megapixel Sony Xmirror SI-MX220 stacked sensor. This is a larger than average, on par only with the Xperia Z2/Z3, 1/2.3 unit with 1.2 micrometers pixels. The sensor is complemented by a two-tone LED flash and 0.3-second autofocus. Up at the front, we've got a 2-megapixel selfie cam, capable of 1080p video capture. Camera UI. Image, 1 of 5. Starting with the UI, that's probably one of our favorite parts of the Meizu MX4's camera. It's definitely not perfect. For example, certain elements need to be recoded so they can switch to landscape orientation, but it's still a very fresh take on what is a fairly stale experience. Most of the options are located at the bottom, and the design of the menus is pleasant and easy to grasp. To change to a different shooting mode, you simply have to swipe left and right horizontally. Speaking of modes, there are quite a few available, including HDR, Panorama, Beauty, Light Field, Post-Capture Refocusing, Night, Microsphere, great macros with this one, and, of course, manual with controls for ISO, exposure, shutter speed and focal length. You can also shoot a burst of up to 30 photos by long pressing the shutter key. So, high marks on the software, but does that indicate as good stills quality? On the whole, yes, very much so. The images the MX4 snaps in broad daylight are attractive, very detailed, and mostly have their exposure and color reproduction spot on. We say mostly because, occasionally, snaps did come out slightly underexposed, while others had white balance issues and appeared visibly purplish. HDR mode is also best left alone, unless you've got a tripod handy or have very steady hands. Otherwise, ghosting and blur are pretty much guaranteed, not to mention that photos look artificial. Indoors, as long as you don't shoot in complete darkness, you can expect the MX4's camera to churn out well-balanced snaps in terms of colors and exposure on the whole, and ones that are, again, very detailed. As soon as the dual-tone LED flash gets involved, however, you've got a problem. Our studio shots clearly show that, but let's just say the snaps come out with an aggressive green fringe. At least the LED duo is powerful enough to illuminate the scene. Turning to video capture, we're happy to see that Meizu has again gone the extra mile. You've got 1080p video, 4K UHD capture, and even slow-mos at 100 frames per second. As for quality, we quite liked what the camera can do. 1080p footage is clear, smooth, and the software is very quick to adjust exposure, not to mention that it cancels out even very loud background noise well. On the downside, footage still was a tad darker than ideal,